Very good. Okay, very good.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Monday, November 9th, 2020. And guys, did something happen over the weekend? Mark, Pat, anything happen over the weekend?
Not according to Donald Trump.
I'm wearing my fat kid clothes because I ate and drank way too much.
I overate as well. Lots of pancakes, lots of Del Taco.
I ate like I was the president-elect.
Yeah.
Like I just won.
Yeah. Burying the lead there, Joe Biden, president-elect, as announced by all the major media networks, as Pat pointed out. Some contention there from President Donald Trump. We'll get into that in the very first story. Also, though, before we get going, rest in peace to the legend, Alex Trebek. Passed away over the weekend.
What is... God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody's coolest uncle, basically, is... rest in peace.
That show's over, right? Ken Jennings can't take over that show.
Nobody's thinking, who could replace Alex Trebek?
36 years of hosting Jeopardy. Pretty impressive, man.
Well, this might be too soon, but can they do a hologram of him eventually when time passes?
I hope that if he had a good lawyer, the lawyer would have brought it up. And I really hope that that's in his will, that he can do that.
Yeah, if his family's okay with it, I think a lot of people would be okay with it.
The only other iconic game show host I could think of that's even remotely close to his level is Bob Barker.
Sajak, Pat Sajak.
Well, but they're contemporaries, and I feel like Trebek was personally. I think
one was a smarter show, Will.
Yeah, so much better that it takes.
One was a trivia show. The other one was Vanna White's tits.
I'm with Will. Bob Barker and Trebek are like 1A and 1B, and you can pick your poison there. And then Sajak's just like right one layer below.
It sucks for Sajak that he was right along with Trebek the whole time. Because
come on, Sajak's a lot more fun. Like Trebek's not doing cocaine with you.
Sajak's great. Yeah,
more fun at the bar.
He would get bombed. They said that they filmed an entire week of like what was it, Wheel of Fortunes, like in one day. So they would film Monday through Friday, but they'd be released Monday through Friday, but they filmed them in one day. And they would always do like 1 to 2 hour breaks between tapings. And he would walk over to the Mexican restaurant that was nearby filming and just get bombed. So by the Friday episode, he was like, he was blackout drunk but you never noticed. But every Friday of Wheel of Fortune, Sajak's 13 margaritas deep. Yeah.
Here's the measure, if you ask me. If you could have one man plan your bachelor party, and it was between Sajak and Trebek, who are you choosing?
Hey, let's stop this. Let's stop the Trebek slander. He died.
Yeah,
it's not slander. It's okay. He's better at other stuff like homework and
Sajak obviously
fatherly advice, probably.
Yeah,
but Trebek had many other great qualities, including his quick wit and his enormous intellect that he put on display all the time. He made being smart, being cool, which Feidelberg tweeted out. I thought that was a really good point. Hard to do. So rest in peace,
legend.
To Trebek. Snowed out the entire West Coast, or entire Denver to Seattle, snow everywhere.
Good for you. Snow. I saw your pictures. You got like multiple inches of snow.
Yeah, got like 6 inches, and I'm in a valley that doesn't snow very much. So the mountains ski season should be good this year.
That's cool. How are the pets? How's Mike the cat loving that? I'm sure
the cat loves the snow way more than the dog. Honestly,
he's like a snow cat. He's an interesting looking cat. He doesn't look like a normal house cat. He looks
big.
He looks like some sort of snow leopard.
He's built to be outside,
Does he do the snow leopard leap where he just like jumps in the air 6 feet and lands in another spot?
He does, and unfortunately, he's definitely a ground guy. He's a big time. His hunting style is he hides under a bush, motionless, until something gets close enough for him to. He's like a trapdoor spider. That's his.
He's the equivalent of if he was an MMA fighter, he'd be a wrestler.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ground games, very strong. And mice, birds, not getting out of his ground and pound.
You should get a video of him doing that trapdoor leap because it would kill on the internet, on socials, mainly with me. It would kill.
I know, but it's so hard. It's so hard, because he sits there for hours.
Will, here's what you do, bro.
You really got to be. You got to be at the right moment, right time.
Will, get a box. like a medium size, but a kind of a deep Amazon box. Spray paint that shit white inside and out. Let it dry. Then put it in the yard. So when it snows up to the top level of the box, Mike can get in there and hide in that box.
Yes,
dude.
Create him a snow blind.
Yeah, I got snow blind. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
It's genius because I almost did a what's in the box video this weekend because I've got this huge box and I was going to put the cat in it, put the flaps down, and video it, and then the cat was going to jump out. And before I was going to say what's in the box.
Okay, I'm on it.
Instead of a human head.
I will try to get him a snow blind before the next snow.
That'd be so sick.
Cat box videos slay.
By the way, just put it near a bush. By the way, spoiler alert, but sick turn in 7. Really tough turn for the movie 7 when you find out what's in the box.
You don't want to find out what's in the box.
It's been so long.
Oh, bro. It's the worst possible.
I know that's about the 7 deadly sins, right?
He knew, and the last one's Wrath, and because he finds his wife's head in the box.
Oof. Man.
Sorry if you haven't
gruesome.
seen 7, which came out in 1995.
Gruesome,
anyways,
like a Washington quarterback, like a Washington QB's lower leg.
Oh my God! Yeah, fun side note. I think one of the lesser known Arquettes is driving the van that delivers the box, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Pretty sure. So just putting that out there.
Okay.
Right. Well, we've delayed long enough. Mark, why don't you take us into the news of the day?
Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Okay, so it's been a few days since we last live streamed with you after a 30-hour streaming week last week during the week, which you guys were with us for most of us, so thank you very much. We had a great time. Well, we took the weekend off basically to recharge. So let's talk
football.
about... Well, yeah. Well, we had to. You had to mentally, watch some football, and I guess.
Luckily for you, Mark, your team had a bye, so you didn't have to watch them lose.
Right. No, which they probably would have had they not had a bye.
But we all got to watch Notre Dame Clemson during all this happened, so that's
true. Great game.
Right, and we're going to get to what happened after that game in Pat's section. But let's talk about everything that happened since Friday. On Saturday morning, over 24 hours after BNN and Hard Factor News called the election for Joe Biden, every major news network did the same and declared Joe Biden the winner of the 2020 election and the 46th president of the United States as the president-elect. So Saturday was fucking nuts based on what I saw on the old television with the celebrations in most major cities. I think Pat's going to touch on that as well in a later section where people maybe just forgot. They were too excited to remember that COVID existed. Maybe, who knows?
It was just too much elation. I think what you saw there. What you saw there, and assuming that the legal challenges and everything don't change the results, is that you saw a lot of people vote against President Trump. I thought that was like one of the biggest takeaways for me, because especially considering how well the Republicans did in the lower chamber, and then Trump in the executive not faring as well. It seems like he had a lot of votes against him.
I would imagine you're right, considering the fact that in any other election, I don't remember people being like, yeah, fuck this guy. That's not going to be around anymore.
Right. All the
Usually you celebrate that your guy got in, but you don't. You're not like, fuck the other guy hard.
The celebration was more almost as much. Exactly.
Yeah. That's a good point. The majority of shirts I saw in Queens were "fuck Trump."
Right.
That's what
it was. Let's go, Joe.
It was all "fuck Trump," not "way to go, Joe."
Right.
Yeah.
So anyways, a lot of votes again. That was again one of the most surprising things to me. Is like a lot of people voting against other people.
Well, it was it'll be by about 5 million votes and 4%, so it was a lot. So Joe Biden won, not surprising there. There are still 3 states that somehow have not declared at the time of this recording. That's North Carolina, Georgia. Well, I guess 4. North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona's like some people have still called it, some haven't. So North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Alaska. And the reason Alaska hasn't declared is because their 1 vote counter was killed by a bear that snuck up on him, so that might take a while. But the electoral count is either 279 to 214 or 290 to 214. Joe over Donnie.
I would say 279 because, in my opinion, Arizona was called way prematurely. With 5% left to count, Trump is within 16,000 votes. And you can't call that. It got called immediately after polls closed.
Right.
It's been called for multiple days for Biden, and now it's coming down to the very nitty gritty, and it's going to be extremely close.
It had to be walked back, and it's so close that it's like tied or taken the lead in Predicted for closest state over Georgia, which ends up being within 10 to 12,000 votes. So both those states are going to be within 10 to 12,000 votes.
For a while, Georgia was 800 votes, 900 votes, like geez.
Wild.
Yeah,
Wild.
that was so close. And then that's going to a recount too. So you never know. Some of the recounts may change the final totals, but not by
right. The
much,
electoral totals too, but it's over unless Trump can get multiple states. Like
you almost called it the erect total.
Erector set. He needs to flip probably 2 to 3 states, depending on the states he flips, which seems like, even though reports from people like his inner circle, like Jared Kushner and Melania Trump, are advising him to concede, it seems like he is not going to or planning on to concede based on his 300 tweets this weekend saying he wasn't, and that the Democrats cheated and he really won big and he's not going to concede and he's going to fight it and they cheated and all that stuff. So
allegedly more like some legit allegations
today, right?
are
Lawsuits.
coming today. That's what allegedly. But they've been allegedly coming every day. We need to see some real proof of some nefarious activity if you're going to take these things.
That's what Mitt Romney said. George H. Bush also congratulated Joe Biden and said he won and he had a good speech on Saturday night. But yeah, I think that
George W. Bush.
George W. Bush. He said that lawsuits are coming today. The Trump administration said that. So keep your eye out. And if anything crazy happens, like multiple states flip or there is some like proof of anything, we'll probably do some streams this week. We'll see. Also on Saturday, one guy in Trump's inner circle that is not recommending a concession, Rudy Giuliani, held what he and Trump thought would be a massive press conference at the Four Seasons in Philadelphia.
Total landscaping.
But later corrected via tweet that it would actually be at the Four Seasons Total Landscaping in Philadelphia. The Four Seasons Hotel also sent out a clarifying tweet on Saturday saying, to clarify, President Trump's press conference will not be held at Four Seasons Hotel Philadelphia. It will be held at Four Seasons Total Landscaping, no relation with the hotel at all. And that's because it is not a very classy place, this Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
It's a landscaper's like parking lot.
Imagine your town, and then imagine where the landscaping places are in your town. That's where this was in Philadelphia.
It's just like warehouse district.
Far out.
Probably,
exactly. It's located in the back of an outdoor warehouse district area, and it's sandwiched
between a yellow hose and a spigot.
Yeah.
The best part was Trump tweeted it out.
Yes, they tweeted out. To their credit, once they showed up in the GPS and they were like, oh, fuck, they went with it. It's also sandwiched between an adult bookstore named Fantasy Island and a crematorium. So not quite the setting.
How did this
Fantasy
happen?
Island?
Someone thought they were booking the Four Seasons. They probably called the Four Seasons Total Landscaping, which answers Four Seasons Total Landscaping, and they tuned out for the last 2 parts of the word, and they arranged
Giuliani
a press conference there.
That's how this happens.
You're kidding, though. Is that
I'm not
really
kidding.
how it happened?
Yes,
Okay.
that's how it happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
I figured that like there was just like one donor who like gave a bunch of cash to Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
Giuliani had to have been like.
They thought they were going to the Four Seasons
somehow.
up until an hour before the press conference. They showed up and had to scramble, and they decided to just go with it. Is what happened.
And wasn't it just Rudy there?
Look, I mean, Rudy's having a tough couple weeks. He probably should sit out a few plays because he just had the Borat incident, and he just had he's getting
now he's got the Four Seasons Total Landscape.
He needs to sit a few
That's
plays.
a fucking loading dock in the warehouse district.
Yeah.
Doesn't play well to your I should be president claims.
Oh, and keep your eyes peeled.
Rudy's not allowed to do anything anymore.
Keep your eyes peeled. We might be working on some type of merch.
Some merch related to Rudy's gaffe. What else happened? Joe Biden gave a victory speech on Saturday night. I thought it was pretty good.
Jog out was awesome.
That was funny. Unifying message and all. Big weekend in election for women, guys. Kamala Harris is going to be the first female vice president of the United States, which is pretty fucking cool and weird that it's taken this long. She's also the first African American and Indian American vice president, because Obama was just straight to president. And Wes, who's not with us today, he'll be on live radio. We're live all week, so please call in. He thinks that she'll become the first woman president by this time next year.
By 1 year. Yeah. He's got no faith that Aviator Joe can survive his term.
To Wes's credit, he's being consistent. He's always been a cynic.
It was also a nice election for women in the House, where the squad led by AOC and Ilhan Omar were all reelected, their whole squad, and 13 GOP women were elected as well, some pretty young. So it was pretty good election for women. It needs to continue that way.
I saw Nikki Haley, so if you followed along on our live stream, I saw her bragging about that. Definitely, I would say that moves her up the rankings. We even thought she was a favorite for the R's in 2024.
Women
but obviously
in
the
general,
women doing so well.
Women in general, both parties, we need more of it. Women are, good at being in charge and making decisions, and
I believe the first
51% of the population.
The first openly trans candidate too was elected.
For the state senate, I think
State
Pat
Senate,
was
yeah.
the first state senator to be a trans candidate.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So very cool stuff there.
progressive.
I forget what state it was, but yeah, I saw that one too.
Speaking of the House, the current count sits at like 215 for the Dems and 196 for the Republicans, with several seats still being tallied. The Republicans have already gained a net positive of 5 seats there. The Democrats will still hold a majority, but a lesser one than they have since 2018.
And I saw Kevin McCarthy. Now, this is how aggressive the Trump team is being in terms of what they think they can get out of these lawsuits. Kevin McCarthy was claiming he thought there was a chance to reclaim the House after all the recounts, which I mean that is so
I doubt
wild.
that,
It doesn't seem that that's possible, but I mean, like, that's how to give you an idea of sort of how they're digging in. That's kind of stuff they're saying.
Yeah, I think that with that, like any sort of flip gives it fuel to the fire to keep dragging it out. Like if, look, this election was called wrong, right? And in the House. Anyways.
They feel like they have a couple House races that could be in the same
close
boat,
enough.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. In the Senate, the current count is, I think, 48 to 48. I've seen 46 to 48 and 48 to 48, but I'm going to go with 48 to 48 with the Democrats having gained 1 extra seat in this election. They needed to gain 3. So the 4 remaining seats to be decided are still the North Carolina race between Tom Tillis and the
Tillis won,
and the
though.
kissing machine. Yeah, he's going to win.
Tillis won. He's up by like 2%.
And the Alaska race, which can't be decided until they shoot the bear. But both those are going Republican, so it'll be 50 to 48 Republican with 2 immensely important Georgian Senate seat runoffs in January. So the boys maybe need to take a trip out to Georgia, where Bubba and Cam are, at the top of this new year, as that is going to be knuckin' futz.
What is that? January? What's the date of that? January 5th?
Yeah, I think the 5th.
Hey, can we talk about how was Biden's victory rally sponsored by GMC or something?
Whoa, really? Because of the car, car selection?
Well, I guess that's Chrysler, but it was all brand new cars. I mean, was it at like a dealership or something?
It absolutely had some Jeep money in it. It seems like, yeah.
Big money into that rally in general. The acceptance speech was well done. And they had like the glow in the dark noisemakers.
Speech was great.
Although the
Biden
was great. The celebrations on the street for 12 hours and the Notre Dame thing, not so great. Anyways, lastly, to add a little humor to this update, and also if anything, like I said, anything major happens this weekend, we'll be streaming. But lastly, to add some humor, Trump learned nothing from Bill de Blasio's Corona tip line, and he created a voter fraud tip line where he encouraged people to call in any tips they had of encountering voter fraud firsthand this election. And that was a mistake, as the majority of the calls coming in are just of people mocking him. For example, I think Bubba has one he can play for us here. They basically were all this.
Trump War Room.
Yeah, I'd like to report an incident of voter fraud.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I committed some voter fraud. I'm very proud of it, and I'd like to tell Mr. Rudy Giuliani about it.
Great. Awesome.
My name is Stan Pines, Pinees. You got that down?
Yeah.
So, I went in there and I had a big old sack and I just started taking ballots out of the box. And I didn't even try to hide it. I waved to the crowd. I blew them kisses. And, I think I'm kind of a local hero, and I'd like Rudy to give me a medal or something. She hung up on me.
I would not want to be working at that call center. That would be a tough gig over the weekend.
Well, any hotline has been proven that it's going to get spammed.
Really, hotlines are terrible jobs for people. Suicide hotline.
Hear the defeat in her voice. Did you hear you can hear the defeat in her voice where it's like, I imagine 90% of the calls are
it's the 10th prank call she's gotten in a row.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, and hopefully they're volunteers. And at a certain point, you're like, why did I do this?
But that's the worst part is like if you're a volunteer and you're really passionate about this candidate and then you're just getting shit on all day by people, it's not great. But it's funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
All right. And that election update was brought to you by Mac Weldon. Guys, if you didn't know, Singles Day is this Wednesday. I wasn't familiar with this holiday, but it's exactly what it sounds like.
I wouldn't know, Mark.
Seed's too strong on this show.
Pea hound.
It's
You know what I'm saying, Will?
celebration of being single. So if you're out there and you're not pea hound, you know what you should do this holiday season for Singles Day is treat number one, where the only thing you have to buy a gift for, the only person you have to buy a gift for is yourself.
Yeah,
So
go ahead and call yourself daddy. Go ahead and refer to yourself as daddy for the entirety of Singles Day.
That's right. Jerk off twice. So do it big and treat yourself to a killer deal from Mack Weldon. Whatever men's basics you need, Mack Weldon has you covered with unmatched comfort and fit. I got their #1 bestseller on the site, the Ace sweatpants, and I am so mad on the day I have to wash them because that's pretty much the only day I'm not wearing them. My wife won't even let me eat in them. They are so nice because she knows I'm a slob and will get shit on them if I eat in them, so I can't even wear them to dinner. But they're
You
on.
eat shit?
You eat shit for dinner? Not on my new favorite pants, no sir. Mack Weldon has everything: socks, shirts, hoodies, underwear, polos, and even active shorts. Mack Weldon promises comfort and a consistent fit. They look great, they feel great from working out, going to work, on a date. Mack Weldon is for everyday life. They also have a loyalty program, like their Blue program, and if you get to level 1, you get free shipping for life, and once you reach level 2 by spending $200, you get 20% off every order for that entire next year. Mack Weldon wants you to be comfortable, so if you don't like your first pair of underwear, you can keep it, and they'll still refund you. No questions asked. And score big this Singles Day, guys. Singles Day, guys. That's Wednesday, so a couple days from now. Get 20% off your first order when you visit Mack Weldon. That's MackWeldon.com/factor and enter promo code factor. That's MackWeldon.com/factor. Promo code factor for 20% off. Get some stuff for yourself. Look good. You also support the boys here when you go there. So support yourself, support the boys.
Yeah, get some stuff for daddy on Singles Day because daddy deserves it.
Reinventing
Third person,
the basics.
daddy,
Basics.
all Singles Day. You're not gonna be celebrating Singles Day next year. Just a pro tip.
That was a
they look
mouthful for
incredible.
me in the first 20 minutes.
Those Mack Weldon
I'm
and
gonna take a break.
sweatpants.
Yeah,
They make
guys
your legs
take it
look
from there.
nice.
Take it from here, boys.
Yeah, they look pretty good. All right, let's move it over to the lightning round, where we're going to talk about Mexico and a big year for marijuana in general. So first up, in the United States, every single marijuana measure on the ballot, regardless of being in a red state or a blue state, passed in 2020. So they had legalized marijuana in Arizona, Montana, New Jersey, and South Dakota. All of them go yes. They had legalized medical marijuana in Mississippi and South Dakota, yes for each. In Oregon, they had legalizing shrooms and decriminalizing all drugs. Those would go yes. And then D.C. deprioritized shrooms. So all across the entire country, unanimous yeses on all decriminalization of drug initiatives.
It's looking like, Will, that a couple of the daddies on this show are going to be living in legal states coming up pretty soon.
Ooh, really?
you going to the
did a little apartment hunting in the
toured a
Jersey?
little bit of New Jersey today, thinking I might get back to my roots.
I like it. I
this
like
time,
it.
well, very high.
I like it. I can tell you from experience that transitioning from an illegal state to a legal state is nice. Makes things a lot more convenient for your everyday lifestyle if you do enjoy the cannabis products. And now in December, Mexico is also set to legalize marijuana, beef. So we can go south of the border too if we want to from our.
I'm so
from our
interested
home
in how
states that have legal weed already.
I'm so interested in this and how it. First of all, finding good weed in Mexico harder than it sounds, and second of all, having weed in Mexico very dangerous because they're trying to shake you down already for going through a toll. I'm curious how this is going to affect the cartel industry.
Right. So here's the problem, Beef. The problem is that they don't have a plan at all, the Mexican government.
What's new, right?
So they have to, the citizens voted for it to go legal mid-December. The government has to have a plan, and they don't have one. And here's a quote, "The truth is we're just a few weeks away from the vote, and we don't know what's going to happen," said Julio Salazar, the senior lawyer and legalization advocate for the nonprofit group Mexico United Against Crime. And so the current proposal, Beeve, would allow private companies that can track seed to sale activities, so kind of expensive to do that, to cultivate and sell marijuana to the public, but it would limit the number of plants individuals could own to 6 and require individual customers to register for a government license. So basically, it would discourage legal use and be a total sort of luxury market managed by potentially, who knows who backs those corporations that can track seed to sale in Mexico. So,
but the people could have 6 plants. I mean, that's more than enough to get
if you
hired.
registered for a license.
Has anyone asked the cartels if they're okay with this?
Right. I have a feeling that maybe, who knows, but basically.
I bet they're very okay with it, probably.
Right.
'Cause I don't think most of their sales are taking place in the country of Mexico.
Yep. And so you can see how shady that sounds, given the problems with political corruption in the existing cartel drug trade that's rampant throughout the country. Mark, roughly 60% of polled Mexican citizens actually wish weed would remain illegal, the exact opposite of the other side of the border in the United States because of the issues that it has, and they don't feel like it's going to be managed properly by the government. It maybe wouldn't necessarily improve over cartel. So not only is that opposite of the United States, but AMLO, the Mexican president, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, is one of the few world leaders not to yet recognize Joe Biden as the U.S. president-elect, citing that he's waiting until the legal audits and reviews are completed before congratulating anybody as the U.S.'s largest trade partner in Mexico. So surprising from AMLO, honestly. But
well, it's what,
everybody else
AMLO
did
and
it.
Bolsonaro? And like that.
I don't know.
Here's what I would say to that. Yeah. I mean, look, Donald Trump's still president for like 11 weeks, right? Something like that, 10 weeks. So I wouldn't go pissing him off if I'm on the border of his country. I would.
Right. Joe's going to work with AMLO
cool.
regardless.
Right.
Yeah, especially if you haven't gotten the invoice for the wall yet. You know what I mean? Like, if you're waiting for the wall invoice, you're hoping it never comes.
He's waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah.
It's a lot you can do in 10 and a half, 11 weeks.
It's like after puking in an Uber, you're worried.
Yeah, you just send the invoice.
You're worried you're going to get a bill.
So we built 24 miles of wall, and boys, I don't know if you heard me.
You know what I think Trump should do is just send out a bunch of like fucking checks on his way out and do like a big Christmas bonus.
It's going to be nuts.
Christmas extravaganza.
Christmas
is be
bonus.
Crazy.
Send the check so everyone can buy presents and then everyone celebrates. Yeah.
What if he has to go straight to like the loony bin from here because he just won't accept that he lost? I mean, like,
well, I think that like Mark was saying earlier with the Jared and Melania sort of. I think like eventually he's going to give in after the legal stuff, but I mean, the future is hard to tell. Obviously, with this election having turned on its head like a couple times. So yep. And speaking of trade partners and whatnot, sometimes we can all get into a little too much trouble with our household budgets and wind up with a bit of a deficit or a national debt on our hands. But lucky for us, there's Lightstream. You can refinance your high-interest credit card balances and save with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. Rates start at 5.95% APR with autopay and excellent credit. The rate is fixed, so it'll never go up for the life of the loan. That's a good thing. Plus, there are no fees, and you can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you apply. I know their consolidation services helped me pay down multiple credit card debts after I bought my first home, and I'm sure they can help you out too. Right now, Hard Factor listeners can save even more with an additional interest rate discount. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/factor. That is lightstream.com/factor. And I got to read a quick disclaimer for you. Subject to credit approval, rates range from 5.95 APR to 19.99 APR, include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/factor for more information.
Check out the double ad read, Hardo Hive. Nice work, boys and girls.
You got us back, baby. Pat, real quick before you move on to your lightning round, Bubba wanted me to remind us to shout out Derek at DTE_20 for getting within 2 seconds on guessing the Trump speech. We're sending Derek a funnel and a hat. When we do live streams, we might do some more giveaways. So good job, Derek, on guessing that.
Love a good Derek of Eric. All right, guys. Goodbye to President Trump. And I got to say, a lot of people are relieved. But of everything Trump did wrong, by far, the biggest issue was his handling of COVID-19. There's no two ways about it. So we would be remiss not to point out the irony of large-scale impromptu celebrations and gatherings in the streets on Saturday when it was announced that Trump's competitor, Joe Biden, had taken the election. And I'm looking directly at New York City and Philadelphia. What are you guys thinking? I mean, come on. Sunday marked the fourth.
It was funny.
That's like if someone, if they were trying to pass gun control regulation to get rid of AR-15s, and they
shot off guns.
Celebrating the streets by shooting guns in the air.
Yeah, look, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Trump was stressful. He was a stressful president. You were excited. What are you doing?
It was literally the lockdown campaign. The Biden campaign.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable how many people and how long it went on for some parts. Go out, bang your pots and pans, and then go back home.
Go back inside, guys. Sunday marked the fourth.
In D.C., they were passing bottles. They weren't even
not just in D.C., bro.
It was hilarious.
Everywhere.
Yeah, Washington Square Park was packed with people passing joints and doing a COVID conga line.
Right. And we broke all of our. I'm sure you're about to get to it, Beef, but not the weekend to do it, right?
It was like having a Trump rally at every city simultaneously.
It is pretty hilarious because we were all sitting there. All the anti-Trumpers were sitting there being like, come on with this
For
idiot.
months.
He's having these rallies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
months.
Fuck it. I'm telling you, boys,
brutal.
The ultimate analogy for human behavior is my music festival porta potty analogy. And we were in the porta potty on Saturday, boys, taking our time. Sunday marked the fourth day of consecutive record total COVID cases at 130,000.
Well, that's going to continue.
That's going to get a little bump.
Yeah.
After
Can't
Saturday.
stop, guys. Can't stop, won't stop. According to Johns Hopkins University, 127,399 cases were recorded across the U.S. on Saturday as well as on Sunday, bringing the total recorded to nearly 9.9 Christina millions. More than 1,000 deaths were recorded,
Almost
bringing
10.
the total death toll to 237,000 deaths. So this will not stop, guys. And we are
still pretty beatable, though. 10 million cases.
So beatable. Look at other fucking countries. Yeah. We just need to start doing what
I'm
other
saying
countries
the disease
are doing.
itself.
No,
So if you get it, don't be like,
It's not. It's very, very, very likely not going to end your life. Sorry to anyone out there that has lost family members. It sucks, but it's going to affect holiday seasons. These records are going.
I know. We're talking about. Are we traveling now for Thanksgiving? Because I mean,
don't know.
This is a blow up right here.
You might cancel your trip. I had a little Thanksgiving trip I already canceled. It's.
Well, I think the thing that's really cool is our testing. I got my test, my latest test, and they gave me results in no less than 20 minutes. Was able to walk in, walk out, and get an email saying I was negative. Fantastic. I think now you can do more planning. I will say this. I walked for my New York test, my first test, with my dumbass Oscar insurance that I pay fucking $400 a month for that does not cover my Adderall or my Prozac or any of my doctor's visits. I walked in to get my first test, and they're like, "Oh, it's free," but they asked me to put in my information. When I went back for my next test, I had a bill for $350.
Oh man!
Now I didn't have to pay that because New York is subsidizing all tests. But my point is, fuck you, Oscar Insurance, you bastards! If you don't even pay for COVID tests, what do you pay for?
You got to change up your provider next year.
What is that trash?
Open enrollment should be around the corner. Everybody.
No, it's here. It's here. November.
It's here.
It was November 1st.
Look around for new options.
Got it. I still haven't signed up. I got to sign up today. I haven't had health insurance in 8 months.
But you can do some planning. Is my point. You can do some planning. I personally am going to go see my parent. I'm going to see my parents this Thanksgiving. I'm planning on doing 2 days in a hotel at the extended stay suites.
You're saying we get the test first. Yeah, I don't know if we have the time to do it. Maybe we'll have to amend it.
I hope everyone does their holiday plans like they want to, and everything's fine. It's just
be responsible.
People are going to get sick, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, especially with all this kind of stuff happening this weekend, 3 weeks right before.
Right, the bump's coming again. Yeah.
Don't think about this thing like HPV. Think about it like herpes and try to stop it. Guys, you can certainly expect to see a South Bend, Indiana spike after they defeated the number 1 ranked Clemson, and the Fighting Irish rushed past shoddily masked Trevor Lawrence, who was allowed to be on the sidelines after clearing the NCAA's 10-day isolation
That's a good
policy
point. They all
a few hours.
They all rushed to the field where there's people with COVID on it.
Right. Trevor Lawrence
Chicks
literally
are making out with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
They had a 10-day NCAA has a 10-day isolation policy. It was down to the hour that Trevor Lawrence was allowed on the field on the sidelines. And look,
He's immune now, though, right?
No, who knows? If it was a program, I would have gotten it. As a college game, come on. Sit this one out, Trevor Lawrence. But whatever. Anyway, did you guys see that fucking Fighting Irish thing? It was ridiculous.
Oh,
I had
that
to
was
change
funny.
the channel. I was getting so mad at all the gatherings. And
I loved
the
it. I just thought it was
like,
really
God
funny,
damn
you
it.
know. I just thought it was really funny. It's like Pat said, it's just like a great display of human nature. It's like people were just so fucking excited, and that's my takeaway was like, wow, so many people voted against Trump and not for Biden, that they were just so
not
pumped.
for masks. They voted against Trump. Yeah,
right. And then, but then also like the same thing with Notre Dame. It's just a different situation. Like Notre Dame's not been great for a while.
Well, Will, I want to point
so,
that out. If
like-
here's how you want to know that if you're at a nerd-ass school who thinks your football program is better than it is, and that's if you're able to get on the field after a big win. I just want you guys to know that. Down at LSU, you will lose an arm to a dog if you will try to get onto the field after a win.
But you'll still
And
get on.
That is the case. That is the case for the most of the SEC. No, you will not. My point is,
No, you
schools
will.
like Notre Dame.
You guys are so crazy that you'll just have a couple people lose an arm and they take it
No,
from
like,
the team.
you
and
know where
then
you get on the
it
field?
has to be a
Duke.
big win.
You get on the field at Duke. You get on the field at Notre Dame. You get on the field at Stanford.
Hey, Clemson hadn't lost a game outside of a national
But
championship
they didn't
in
have
30
Trevor
games.
Lawrence. I mean,
No, I
backup
know, but they were
QB.
number one, and now Notre Dame
true.
is easily in the playoffs. So that was a big win.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. That was good.
Yeah.
I mean, the storm in the
I don't
field was
blame the
obviously
excitement. I don't blame the
against
excitement.
COVID
It's
regs,
just
but
clearly
yeah.
clearly people when they get excited, like 95%
Well,
of
and
the
I think it
population doesn't
proves
give
to
a
you-
flying fuck
look,
about
it proves
COVID.
to you that it doesn't really matter. I was saying this before the election. I don't think it's going to matter who the president is. Like Americans just are hard to control. Like they don't fucking comply with like regulations or whatever.
I said that
like,
day one when
anything.
China was doing the temperature checks inside buildings. I was like, no, not going to happen.
So like all these
No.
people like just voted to give themselves more regulations of like how they're supposed to comport themselves, and they just don't fucking care. Like it doesn't.
They
That's
made
America.
they made the
That's-
job tougher on Biden before he even got it.
right. Exactly.
And guys, is anyone thinking about the world's minks?
Oh
yes,
no.
yes,
Oh,
I'm still
man.
thinking about those.
Yeah,
minks.
I
Poor
don't
minks,
want
yeah.
to because they're so cute, and
Well, guess what, boys? 6 more countries have reported coronavirus cases amongst their farmed minks.
they're gonna genocide them too.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is bad,
no.
guys.
Look how cute they are.
According to the World Health Organization, Italy, Spain, Sweden, the Netherlands, and the U.S. joined Denmark in noting the presence of the coronavirus among their mink farm populations. And in a statement, the WHO said, this is more paraphrased. Denmark is going to kill its entire mink population of almost 17 million. And they're going to be putting the Danish military to work here for the first time since World War II to execute the slaughter. You thought PTSD was bad for the regular soldiers? Wait till you meet a bunch of soldiers
mink
that
slaughterers?
had to
Oh, my
slaughter
goodness.
17 million minks. Good luck getting
is
those guys
horrible.
to sleep.
This is horrible. Why do they got to
Story
kill all the minks?
sucks.
Why can't they
Why
just?
isolate them? Like let them like be.
It's a false flag. It's anti-mink. Yeah, just send them
sucks,
to a
man.
fucking island. Anyway, guys, that's that.
Right.
All right. Well, hey, finally some good news in 2020, everybody. Okay, as of today, Monday, military personnel are now allowed to wear yoga pants to pick up groceries at the on-base commissary. Not only military personnel, but their spouses, anybody else,
yeah.
their dependents. And you know what? A yoga pant just brings a nice feeling into a room. So
Oh, especially
youtube.com/hardfactornews.
Tight military body. Mm-hmm.
There's
workouts.
going to be a baby boom in 2021 between
military?
everyone fucking on the Biden celebration, the yoga pants in the military. There's going to be a lot of fucking the next couple months.
Baby booms abound. COVID baby boom as well. Defense Secretary Mark Esper signed the order allowing fitness attire at the commissary, but notes that the attire must be appropriately modest. So I guess if you have too nice of an ass, you could still get in trouble.
Yeah, no, there's no difference in yoga pants. It's just yoga pants. So you're right, Will. The ass has to be appropriately
Right.
modest.
Well, it's like somebody's body, basically.
That's the quarter test. Guys are going to be in the halls with quarters, and if they can bounce a quarter more than a foot off your ass, that's not.
You're going home, honey. You're going home unless we're going to give you a court martial.
Hey, you could put an eye out with your ass if I threw a quarter at it. You know.
Well, hopefully it brings some good morale. Good morale to the troops. That's what we're all looking for these days.
That's what we want. We want more male troops ogling female troops.
Good morale. Yeah.
That'll boost morale.
This is good for the military courts.
I mean, hey, at least you don't have to change into your nice clothes.
No, I mean, all jokes aside, yoga pants. Yeah, good job.
Oh,
yeah.
Yoga pants, yeah. If Mark ever runs, that's going to be his campaign.
Yoga pants, yeah.
Yoga pants, yeah.
Yep. You damn Skippy.
We did it back in the day. If you remember, we did like a invention week and like best inventions of all time, and I think I picked yoga pants.
I think it was
the
your
number one invention of all time. Yeah.
Not bad choice.
Yeah.
They are easy on the eyes, and it looks though, Beef, to your point, looks like your privileges could be revoked if your commanding officer so chooses and you abuse the the fitness attire rule. But it seems like a good thing. Like I was saying, hopefully makes people's lives easier. They can dress more casual to get groceries.
Create more problems than it solves, guys. A selfish couple in Michigan will hopefully just stop after the couple had they had 14 sons and they finally welcomed their 15th child in the form of a baby girl into the world. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So the combination,
sons?
14 boys now, 15 with the baby girl.
Is that wait, one of the kids is bald in the back.
That's the baby.
Holy shit! He's
No,
that's
back.
no, yeah, he's
that's
like
the
40.
28-year-old son.
I mean, they're that's a long range of kids. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It's not okay. The combination of her more than likely strict religious upbringing and having 14 older brothers is going to make dating Maggie Jane Schwardent about as challenging as summiting Everest. And when
Absolutely impossible.
No one's gonna date her with 14 brothers.
No, not happening. The Carol's parents, Jay Schwant and his very tired wife, Kateri Schwant, are both 45. So they've been rolling the dice with geriatric pregnancies for the better part of a decade now. And they're, quote,
How do you
overjoyed.
even get that many at 45? That's incredible that they could pump out 15 kids.
Well, yeah, so I guess the oldest is 28. So they started really young. Like
He's
I
got
think
to
that,
young.
He's got to get a snip. He needs to go get snipped.
no,
That's 18.
he's not
That's
gonna
having
mark.
your first baby at 18. Yeah.
Yeah, they dated throughout high school and then went to college together.
And then
I gotta
back
say,
to backs, like, unless you had a physical problem.
That's a child every other year for 28 years.
Ooh, man, I can't imagine that. Pat, could you imagine that after going through, having your girl be pregnant right now? Go that many of these?
having your
like-
girl pregnant is a joy. It's really pleasant.
No, but what I'm saying, I mean, could you imagine just physically 15?
Pat, hold up 3 fingers. She's in the room.
I gotta say, me and Kate have been kicking around baby names, and we can't go down a list of more than 3 names before one of us hates the other one's suggestion.
No. Don't worry. That is so like the name thing is hard to set.
Right, you get 3 deep, and then you're like, oh fuck, Ethan. I fucking hate Ethan. So like, which essentially means that like these people must hate half their kids' names. Like, there's no way you can find 15 names you fucking like.
You know, you didn't score 15 out of 15. They dislike some of their choices for sure.
Undoubtedly, and assumedly some of their children. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Swings of the bat.
Hey, awesome year, killer year, and I say year because the election just ended, and that was a big run for us. So we can't wait to keep giving you Hard Factor, keep bringing it to your face, bringing it to you loud. Thanks for sticking with us through all that really heavy politics shit. It's our gig, and we got to do it. Hopefully, moving forward, we'll give it to the new president, same degree we gave it to the last president, but things will be a little bit more lighthearted and fun moving forward, at least for the time being. Thank you guys for listening, and have a great fucking day.